Chelsea side. And of course, I'm sure we heard the likes of Nico saying Dima Maghreb when Betis got that first goal. But if they can also keep the likes of Anthony quiet, then you think Chelsea have got a chance going into this second half. But we said before the game, the Blues are the clear favourites, but it would be really interesting if we could see another upset.
Dima.
Certainly would be. Thanks very much, Anita. Enjoy the second half. Chelsea, that's for sure, going to need a good start to that second period. Time for a short break. We've got the second half between Real Betis and Chelsea coming up next. 1-0 to the Spanish side at the break.
The Phoenician scheme.
Help yourself to a hand grenade.
He is Zsa Corda.
He dodges our tariffs.
I take no relish in it.
He's the most elusive, most mysterious.
My reasons? I'm not saying.
Most wanted man on the planet.
Can't you leave me alone?
And this is the scheme that everyone wants to blow up.
Is this supposed to be here?
How much time does this have?
18 minutes.
Perfectly fine. We'll land in 10.
The Phoenician Scheme, rated PG-13. In select theaters in New York and Los Angeles, May 30th. In theaters everywhere, June 6th.
These are dad pants. They stretch in every direction. They're comfortable, even when you're not. And when this happens, nothing happens. Hell yeah, they're dad pants. Dockers, always a fit.
So, what do you think about the Jeep Wrangler?
Very spacious. Lots of open air.
What are you going to use it for?
Thwarting international terrorism, saving the world. That kind of stuff.
Sorry, we just saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and we are very excited.
Test drive?
No mission is impossible with a Jeep Wrangler. Get employee pricing plus current FCA lessees can finance and get $6,500 total bonus cash on select 2025 Grand Cherokee Laredo models and dealer stock.
You can't hide what makes NJM Insurance so great. Although some may try. We're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Two-match day, 1-0 at half-time between Chelsea and Real Betis. The players are back in the tunnel getting ready for the second half. Charlie, Anita mentioned there that Maresca needs to try and get the man we saw just there, Cole Palmer, involved a bit more. But do you think he'll make any changes at half-time?
I don't see any changes at halftime, but one player that I see coming onto the pitch to make a difference is Christopher Nkunku. Jane Sancho is another player. I think those two players can come in and change the game because in the end, you need Cole Palmer closer to goal and you need some wingers because when a team is playing so compact, the way to beat them is to get wide, use the width, pull them out, and then whip balls in. So I think that's the difference. Oh, it looks like Reece James is coming in. Okay.
Yeah, Malo Gusto has had a stinker. It's got to be him, right? Yeah, Malo Gusto. He had a horrendous first half.
And it's also the experience of it. We talk about, oh, yeah, this is a Mickey Mouse Cup for Chelsea, but they're playing like a bunch of kids right now.
Yeah, they need to play like men and adults in the second half. Let's get back to your match commentators, Jackie Oakley and Andy Hinchcliffe, for the second period. We'll see you at full time.
One change apiece at half-time. The Chelsea captain, Reece James, has come on for Malo Gusto, who suffered a difficult first half. And Ricardo Rodriguez has gone off for Real Betis. Romain Perraud coming on at full-back. We're back underway in Wroclaw. Chelsea with their club captain straight into the thick of the action, straight off the substitutes bench. And will this be a different Chelsea side to the one we saw in the first half? Isco picking up where he left off in that first period, where he was so instrumental in everything positive that Real Betis did. And look at him now, trying to weave his magic once again. And he just runs out of grass. Andy Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, I can understand that change by Enzo Maresca, because Malo Gusto just simply wasn't working. Al-Zawli was having a field day really down the left-hand side, so no surprise Reece James has come on. He has to deal with that problem, contain a dangerous wide player. So if they can deal with that, then maybe they can develop again going forward. But I'm presuming Rodriguez going off for Betis as well, changing left-backs. I'm presuming that's maybe an injury or just to maybe freshen things up in the Spaniards' defence. Just looking at Reece James's position, he's doing exactly what Malo Gusto did when they have the ball. Chelsea stepping into midfield, and that caused them problems when they lost it. Space on the left-hand side for Al-Zawli was really worrying for Chelsea.
Chalobah now, Caicedo in towards Jackson. He just ran away from him a little as Fernandez now onto Madueke, Cucurella. Is there a change of tempo to this Chelsea side? They were outplayed by Real Betis, particularly in key areas. The Spaniards much sharper in the final third, despite Chelsea having 2/3 of the possession. They really struggled to break them down.
Yeah, the best team won the first half. Again, there's still a lot of work to do in this second half. I think primarily to contain Chelsea. Surely they will step the tempo up, and will the quality improve?
James, that's a good-looking ball in from Reece James. Fernandez can't keep it in. That was positive from the skipper.
Yeah, just maybe slightly overhits it. Again, it's asking a different defensive question. Betis, just deliver that ball. For onrushing attackers, if defenders are caught ball watching, there may be opportunities. But already, start this second half, it looks like Maresca's really fired his team up and looking a lot sharper, more hungry. There's more energy, application. They've got to take the game to Betis.
Decision goes against Isco, who he must have mentioned so many times in the first half, on merit. Just a beautiful player to watch. His balance, his low centre of gravity makes football look so easy. In space in tight areas, something Cole Palmer's trying to do here.
I thought I could play football, Jackie, but then you watch Isco play and you think, hang on a minute, I was playing a totally different game to him.
Different sport to most of us. Chalobah getting the nod in central defence alongside Benoit Badiashile instead of Tosin and Levi Colwill. If Chelsea lose this final tonight, one they were expected to win, there'll be no doubt questions post-match about the selection of the head coach Maresca as the serve is fouled. It was difficult to read his mind in the build-up to this final. Does he go with the side that have got Chelsea to this stage, many of them alternative players, very talented, some of them very young, the likes of Keenan Dewsbury Hall, Champong, the right back as well. And the regular midfield, changing the defence. Jackson's made the run, the flag stays down for now. Nicholas Jackson, only as far as Natan, and now the flag goes up as expected.
Yeah, the pullback was a poor one. It just looked as if he'd gone slightly too early. But again, that's encouraging. In the first half, Nicholas Jackson was just standing still, expecting the ball to come to him. On that occasion, he makes a run. So whether you're running short to get the ball to feet or looking to spin and running behind the defence, move. And that's what he does there. He just goes slightly too early. But that's more of what Chelsea need from him.
Legendary Chelsea captain John Terry has been speaking in the last couple of days, saying he thinks his old side need to invest in an experienced, expensive centre-forward. But the philosophy has been to buy relatively expensive but very young. And that's why Enzo Maresca was so defiant when they did seal 4th place on Sunday with that win at Nottingham Forest, and they did secure Champions League football. He used a couple of rude words to stick it to his critics. We won't repeat them here. But he was basically saying, job done, despite what you all said. And it's John Terry saying he wants to see 2 or 3 experienced players coming in to really add to the value of the otherwise very young squad. Cucurella. Jurgensen, the 23-year-old. And the decision goes against Chelsea.
Yeah, it's just a high boot from Nicholas Jackson. There's no malice intended. I think he just sees the ball, doesn't see Bartra stepping in. He does seem to catch him. So he's got eyes on the ball. There's no malice there at all. It doesn't actually look that bad, really. There's a bit of contact, maybe just a brush of the studs there. I'm sure he'll be okay. He's a tough defender. I suppose from the Chelsea point of view, look at the squad. It is a talented squad. They've again made the Champions League. They could still win this title, but if they're going to maybe push on and win the Premier League or win the Champions League, it'll be a number of years if you continue to go just for young players. But if you bring in a bit more experience, maybe that accelerates the process. It depends what Chelsea are really after in the next 4 or 5 years.
Trophies and more trophies. They've won plenty of them. Champions League twice as 19-year-old Jesus Rodriguez is about to come on for the second Real Betis substitute. And we're going to make that change now. Scorer Abde Ezazali has been receiving treatment as Jesus Rodriguez is about to come on. 19 years of age, called up to the Spain under-21 side. A really promising young talent, but a sad sight to see the Moroccan goal scorer limp off like that. He was so exceptional in the first half and scored the only goal of the game so far.
Yeah, I think Reece James will be very happy that he's gone off, but Jesus Rodriguez is a dangerous player as well, dangerous young player. I think that's probably one position that Pellegrini had a bit of choice with these 2 players, the one that started, the one that's come on. He's who actually started the game, and he made the right choice with Zauri scoring that brilliant goal. It's now down to Rodriguez to go on and do a similar job, really, but he's trying to find it easy. He's a very young player himself up against Reece James, who is experienced and physically strong.
Chalobah, Neto. Palmer's made the run, but Neto gives it straight to the young sub, Isco. He's creating his own highlights reel, Isco. Is a shadow of the player that we saw in the first half of the season. What do you put that down to tonight? Is that down to Real Betis and their tactics, or is he just slightly off the boil?
I think it's a combination of things, yes. He hasn't had a good second half of the season. I think here they're making it really difficult for him to get on the ball in between the lines, so he's not had a lot of the ball when he has had it. There was an occasion in the first half and he dribbled, and I think the strike was one of a kind of a player that's short in confidence. But again, he's got to keep believing. Mental strength is so important throughout your career in games like this. Keep believing, keep trying, get into good goal scoring position. Eventually the dam will burst, because he's shown he is a quality player.
Wakey. Jackson's in the centre, so too Palmer. Jackson's there. Adrian came out. Well, the Chelsea players are screaming for a penalty for the challenge on Nicholas Jackson by the goalkeeper, Adrian.
Yeah, they clearly feel that the goalkeeper took the centre forward out. It's a cross he's always going to have to come and deal with because his defenders simply weren't there. The way those Chelsea players react, they clearly feel that that Jackson was caught by Adrian.
Shield looks to have been shown a yellow card in his protest. VAR are looking for a potential penalty. There's Madueke with the cross. Adrian came out with eyes on the ball.
It seems to me as if they arrive at the same time. But this is what Chelsea need to do, play with width, get crosses in. See, as Adrian comes out there, I think he virtually arrives at the same time, and you can't judge the challenge on maybe the injury to the Chelsea player. I feel the keeper has every right to go for the ball and gets there at just at the same time. He's not late, he doesn't miss the ball and catch the player, so very interesting to see how this is assessed.
Well, they are still checking for a potential penalty. The VAR is the Frenchman Jérôme Brissard. Check over. It will be a corner to Chelsea and not a penalty.
There is a slight risk when the ball is drifting away from the goalkeeper. It is all about timing, getting there at just the right time, and Adrian just about got his timing correct there.
Neto with the corner for Chelsea. Just Shields there. So to James! And it came off Nathan, who celebrates the block as if he's just scored a goal.
Yeah, James is always going to shoot. It's just too tempting. Bouncing ball on the angle. Let fly.
More intensity about Chelsea's play now. James with the corner. Some looking delivery into the danger area. Adrian is there this time.
That's such a poor cross. It's brilliant from Enzo Fernandez. Great control, lays the ball out wide. It's just a really poor ball in. There's targets in the box. You've got to pick out one of your teammates. You can't be playing that into the goalkeeper's gloves.
With the ball in. Here's Isco. And the cross really overhit.
That's a poor ball in, but again, it all starts with Isco. His attacking intelligence. He appreciates the long forward ball is going to be played. He gets in between the lines so he can secure that forward ball. Then he's, he turns and he's on the run and turn defence to attack very quickly, Betis.
It's Anthony's cross, and he's not been in the sort of form we're used to seeing from him in recent weeks and months. So Jackson's chasing that one down.
It's another poor forward ball. Again, they're encouraging Nicholas Jackson on the move. I just didn't see this in the first half from him. Far too static. Now he's looking a lot more mobile.
23-year-old Senegal international. Confirmation of that yellow card for dissent from Benoit Badiashile. As Chelsea players were screaming for a penalty when Adrian came out to challenge Jackson.
I'm sure it's the fact that Chelsea players saw the way that their player went down and that made them feel it must be a foul, but I think the referee VAR did a really good job of assessing that and got the decision right.
And also it's a final. They want it to be a penalty. Verde Blancos away to our left are having a fabulous night. Their first UEFA final in their history. They are absolutely bouncing.
Yeah, they do feel that the team will need the fans, they'll need the energy from the fans, because I'm sure the longer the game goes on, if it's still 1-0, they will sit deeper and deeper. Chelsea will press. And those Betis fans can be the 12th man.
Neto's calling for it on this near side. Caicedo plays it out against the legs of the referee, has no choice but to stop play for an uncontested drop ball when the ball changes possession.
Well, Cucurella there is He was having a go at the referee for being in the way, but come on, it doesn't happen very often, does it? He's not trying to intentionally stop Chelsea going forward, so give the guy a break.
Jadon Sancho, the next man off the bench for Chelsea. Will it be Pedro Neto, who he replaces, or Noni Madueke perhaps?
Well, it's Neto that catches Perro. It's a poor touch from Neto. It gets away from him. He goes chasing it. Left back steps in. Seems to get caught. He's maybe made a bit of a meal of it, the left back, but you see there, he steps in, wins the ball, just gets caught on the toe and then goes down. As if he's really been caught, but it's good defending. The ball gets away from Neto, so step in as a fullback. Got an opportunity, win that ball back if you can.
There's a double change for Chelsea. Levi Colwill coming on as well as Jadon Sancho. Giving the rest of players until the hour mark to implement his directives at the break, and presumably he's not happy enough with what he's seen, and he's making the change. Badiashile to Cucurella. The feel-good factor from Sunday dissipating fast for Chelsea, but what can these two do to change the narrative?
I think Chelsea have been better in the opening 15 minutes of the second half, showing far more, but when you've got an attacking bench like Maresca has, where you want to shore things up at the back, you've got to make these changes, and I think make them early enough that they can have an effect on the game, and that's why he's doing it now.
So Jadon Sancho replacing Pedro Neto. And Benoit Badiashile, the player to make way for Levi Colwill. Strong stuff again from Real Betis. A little fortunate that Cambu couldn't take the ball in his stride.
I think with Colwill coming on, I'm presuming it's that Badiashile yellow card, that Maresca can't take a risk with a player maybe getting a second yellow card and getting sent off down to 10 men. That can't happen, so maybe that's why he's changed his centre-half.
It would make sense. So 3 Chelsea substitutions, 2 from Real Betis.
With Betis, I think their attacking in the second half is going to be a bit more sporadic than it was in the first half, but they've still got the quality, I think the mindset, the attacking mindset to make the few attacks that they actually carry out really effective.
Turned by Caicedo, Ecuadorian to his fellow South American midfielder Enzo Fernandez, looking for Nicholas Jackson, and Bartra followed it all the way, so his goalkeeper Adrian could clear.
But again, good move from Jackson, running in behind centre halves. That brings the goalkeeper out of his area. Adrian again timed his move out of the box perfectly, took all the pressure off Bartra.
The Chelsea fans piping up behind the goal, to which they are attacking now. Madueke's crosses blocked. Isco. Fornals loses out to Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez, more intensity to the Chelsea play now. There has to be. Jadon Sancho's maiden voyage down the left wing comes to nothing. On loan from Manchester United, his future unclear. So too that of Anthony. On the Real Betis side as Madueke runs into Perrault.
You mentioned future unclear. I think the future of Manchester United as a whole is pretty unclear, isn't it?
An awful season it's been for them. And then losing the chance of Champions League football won by Tottenham last week. Chelsea already have Champions League football. Real Betis already have Europa League football. This is all about a new trophy for either side. Sancho. Palmer. Sancho trying to dance his way through, and this is better. Palmer
Enzo Maresca was absolutely right in describing what a win here, and how it would change the season. It would turn it from a good one to a great one. But of course, you've got to go and win it. And Betis clearly not just going to lie down and let you win the title.
Palmer. So much talent, ability. Not let him play tonight. It's a lovely curling ball in. Oh, there is the equaliser. It's Enzo Fernandez right in front of the Chelsea supporters, and that is the reaction Enzo Maresca wanted, and that is the reaction that Chelsea needed.
And finally, a bit of attacking quality. We talked about Cole Palmer and showing mental strength. Keep wanting the ball, keep trying to make things happen, create, score. It's a wonderful cross, but it's that deep run from Enzo Fernandez. It is really difficult to pick up. If defenders watch the ball and you don't trap that run, you've got a problem. And it's a really considered header as well, because there's pace on the ball. It's moving towards the target. He just helps it on its way. He assesses what he needs to do to score quite brilliantly. But Cole Palmer twisting and turning, eventually not trying to do too much, taking on too many players. Just the angle, the weight of the cross is outstanding. The pace is on it, and it's in behind the Betis defence. I've talked about that so often this evening. Get in behind the defence with a quality ball. They do. And the on-rushing midfielder times the run to perfection, but then the type of header he needs to utilise to score, and it's just using the pace that's on the ball. Don't head it too solidly. It's a glancing header. Use the pace that's on it. Keeper has no chance, and it's game on.
Chelsea, so dominant in this campaign. They've been up against it tonight, and how will Real Betis respond?
Well, goal scorers always take the glory. So again, Ezalzouli scoring, Fernandez scoring, but the players that created the goals, Isco and Palmer, huge influence on the scoreline.
Flag goes up. Chelsea tails are up. Isco doesn't have his own way.
Well, it's amazing what goals can do for games, goals can do for teams. Suddenly Chelsea, everybody wants the ball. As the equaliser hit the net, they feel they've kind of got through a really difficult 65 minutes or so, and now they're in the ascendancy.
What will that do for their confidence? The goal scorer Fernandez. Now here's Sancho. Flying forwards, taking on Sabali. Chelsea performance in the first half was just so flat and stale. It needed an injection of pace and energy and just something different. Sancho again. Enzo Fernandez. Cucurella, unmistakable, that mop on his head. Palmer, architect of the equaliser, wanted a free kick, denied.
Well, Betis just simply can't get up the pitch. They can't get into the Chelsea half. They're being pinned in.
Sancho to Palmer! Adrian with the stop.
It's a decent effort, but it's one the keeper should save. Well, left-footed strike, it's moving back towards the goalkeeper, so as long as his positioning is good and he's ready to make the save, it's no problem. But Chelsea look completely different. The urgency, the tempo. With Betis camped on the edge of their own box, they've got to be very careful here, Betis. They need to get up the pitch and relieve some of this huge pressure they're under.
Chelsea have flicked the switch. They've come alive, but now they have some defending to do. Perrault. Cardoso, the American. Still Johnny Cardoso. Now Isco, the danger man. All in the way. Sancho urged up the other end of the field by the wall of blue away to our right. Looking to suck that ball into the back of the net again. Palmer. They know he wants it on his left foot. Ushered him onto his right. Caicedo. Fernandez. Sancho. Madueke. Palmer's made the run. Here he is. Up against the former Southampton defender. Corona. And Chelsea have come from behind. They've turned this final on its head, and it's Nicholas Jackson back in the starting lineup, back on the score sheet, and Maresca's all smiles now.
Well, Chelsea turned the game around. Cole Palmer has pretty much single-handedly turned the game around. First half, we just never saw him, he never got on the ball, but now he's starting to get on the ball, he's dictating the play, he looks full of confidence. After creating the first goal, he's saying to the Chelsea players, just keep giving me the ball, I'll make something happen. And he just rolls his foot over the ball, gets into a great attacking position, and the cross is just perfection. It's a cross designed for the person on the end of it. It's not just putting his head down and flashing it in there, because that's what he wants to do. He's thinking about Nicholas Jackson. Brilliant play on 2 occasions now from Cole Palmer. He just slows defenders down, just rolls his foot over the ball, and that just opens up a bit of space for him. And this is just, it's pure confidence. Again, his confidence is flowing now. The cross is an absolute beauty. It picks out his teammate. Now, many players in this position just put their head down, flash it in, and nothing comes of it. But he has a little look, and it's just a beauty. The way that ball is bent in behind the defensive line again, and it doesn't matter what it comes off as long as it goes into the back of the net. Nicholas Jackson's made his move. He's been a lot more mobile in this second half. And he's given Chelsea the lead, but Cole Palmer outstanding in creating chances.
Maresca said that Nicholas Jackson owes his teammates a debt after being sent off against Newcastle, costing them that game. It didn't cost them Champions League football in the end. Missed the last 2 games of the season through suspension, but he's paid them back here. As Bakambu is replaced by Aitor Ruibal. Unmistakable. I don't think that's his natural colour. Zali can only sit and watch. His goal that put Real Betis deservedly in front so early on, and they'd come flying out the traps and were certainly the better side in the first half. They couldn't find a second goal that would have given them that cushion. Bartra denied by this man Jurgensen. And a chance also for Cardoso, which was blocked. And they went in at the break just 1-0 up. You did wonder whether that would ultimately be enough against such a talented Chelsea side with plenty more talent on the bench. They were flat in the first half, the tails are up in the second, the changes have been made, and they paid off.
Absolutely. Maresca at half-time would have said we're maybe lucky to still be in the game, but we are. It's only 1-0. We just need to step things up. We need to believe a little bit more, get our key players on the ball, creating things. That's exactly what's happened with Cole Palmer. So credit the Chelsea players, for actually doing it themselves, because we knew that Betis, without getting that second goal, would sit a little bit deeper. That's exactly what's happened. It's about breaking that defence down, and Cole Palmer on 2 occasions has opened them up, and that's why Chelsea are now leading. But it never looked like happening after that first half, because it was really pretty much total domination from Real Betis, but different now.
Nicholas Jackson has scored both previous goals in this competition in the semi-final first leg at Djurgården. That could be an absolutely vital one. Madueke now down with the interception. Here's Jean Rodriguez. A bit of play from him. Fornals. Anthony's beaten to it by Cucurella. What a fascinating battle that should be. It hasn't really played out that way so far, and they could really do with Anthony now. Flick from Isco, looking for the teenager.
Anthony needs to do for Betis what Cole Palmer's done for Chelsea, basically. Get on the ball and influence the game, dictate the game. He's hardly had a kick.
We said something similar about Cole Palmer in the first half, didn't we? And then he came alive. Anthony was complaining about the pitch yesterday. We were here watching training. It seemed to be okay from all the way up here, but he was saying it was denying him the opportunity to run fluidly. Jackson lays it off. Madueke. Martin back to cover. Two players bursting through the centre. Madueke couldn't find either of them. Now here's Palmer. Suddenly full of confidence.
It was a wasted opportunity though, but Madueke, if he'd got his head up and just played the ball, as you say, either straight down the middle or out to the left-hand side, the counter-attack was on. There was 3 or 4 blue shirts to his left. He just didn't see them and didn't pass the ball. They've got to dig deep here, Betis. They've got to stay in the game. That's what Chelsea had to do at 1-0 down. Betis have to do that now. If they go 3-1 down, it's pretty much game over.
Quarter of an hour remaining for Betis to try to find the goal that would force extra time and potentially a penalty shootout if required. I wonder whether Isco can maintain the influence that he had in that first half at 33 years of age. And with the fresh legs of Chelsea coming on too. Talent and class is not in question. Betis have in reserve. Anthony's ball in towards Isco. There's a question mark about offside. Isco urging the fans to bring the noise once again. They've provided so much energy. Isco gets it back. In towards Cardoso. Jackson to clear. Sancho. Now Jackson striding into the half of the field occupied only by Adrian. He's overhit it. And his touch let him down at the vital moment. He was one-on-one with Adrian.
That is a massive let-off. Just how important that proved to be for Betis, because from their corner they were caught out badly, short defensive numbers and just a heavy touch. That shouldn't happen. And he's actually injured himself. He's gone down now, Nicholas Jackson.
On we go with Fornals. Aitor Ruibal. Now Anthony. He heard them with that left foot of his. Correa knows he wants it on his left foot. And Chelsea either have to play the ball out themselves or wait for the ball to go out of play. Or for the whistle to blow. Rodriguez. Isco. Turns into danger of Palmer, who can now boot the ball out of play.
Of course, the Chelsea players aren't happy. Their man is down and they feel that Betis should put the ball out. They're under no obligation, Betis, to put the ball out of play. OK, he's injured, but it's not a massively serious injury, you presume, so that's why the Spaniards rightly carried on. Here's the opportunity again. It's actually a poor pass, a surprise. Poor pass from Isco that enables Chelsea to break forward. One decent touch, and then such a poor second touch. It gets away from him. It's comfortable for Adrian to step in, but that shouldn't be happening. Keep that ball close. He's got support as well to his right, so either he scores or he lays the ball off. But you cannot let the ball get away from you like that. It could be so costly for Chelsea.
That was a big, big moment, as was his goal. Cole Palmer was booked for dissent after the referee had blown to stop play. He booted the ball into the crowd, furious with the referee for not stopping play earlier, but as you say, Andy, he's under no obligation to do so.
Betis aren't under obligation when they're in possession to put the ball out of play. The referee can't stop the game unless he feels it's a head injury or a serious injury, then it's a different story, but it clearly wasn't. So play on until you get the ball back, Chelsea, then put it out of play.
Now Kiernan Dewsbury Hall will get his opportunity. The summer signing from Leicester City, the side who helped reach the Premier League under Enzo Maresca, though they've gone straight back down without the two of them. 26 years of age, one of the older players, thought of as being a youngster, but not so, given the average age of this Chelsea side is so young. He scored the winner in the second leg of the semi-final against Djurgården. But only made 2 starts in his first Premier League season at Chelsea. There had been a doubt as to whether he'd leave in January, as Jackson limps off. Chelsea do have the Club World Cup to come, remember. So not much of a break for these players. Some will be off on international duty after this. So there will be stoppage time added on at the end of the 90. That's a loose one from Jesus Rodriguez. And he wins it back from Dewsbury Hall. Bartra, the intentional ball forward, looking for Aitor Ruibal.
Yeah, it's really good defending from Cole. Well, that's how to defend without actually playing the ball. He doesn't foul Ruibal, he just steps across his attacking line, and just really intelligent defensive positioning.
Giovanni Lo Celso about to come on. Also coming on too. Chelsea looking to put this game to bed. Just over 8 minutes of the 90 remaining. Jadon Sancho thought about going himself. He could do with somebody running outside of him as an option, and no one was willing to do so. Understand, Andy, Chelsea on the one hand want to put the game to bed with another goal, but they don't want to take any unnecessary risks either.
Yeah, it's trying to get that balance right, isn't it? And that's why that Jackson opportunity when he broke forward, if they could have capitalised on that, made it 3-1, I think it just knocks all the stuffing out of Betis and the title is won. But at 2-1, you missed that opportunity, you just caught between, do we really need a third goal, or do we sit back and try and protect the lead? You kind of get caught between two stools, really, so it's difficult to manage with only 10 minutes left in the game.
Dewsbury Hall tries to thread it through to Sancho. Sancho goes for goal! And now Chelsea can feel that trophy in their grasp. They've had to do it the hard way. Real Betis' hearts are broken. UEFA trophy being snatched away from them. All that good work in the first half appears to be for nothing, as Jadon Sancho now has started the party for Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea's attacking quality in the second half has shone through as Betis, as we probably expected, tired, has sat a little bit deeper, but there's an opportunity for this to be cleared. It's poor in midfield for Dewsbury Hall to get on the ball. When this ball is played out wide, Sabali should be dealing with this. The ball skips past him, and then Jadon Sancho does everything right, just shifts the ball, doesn't try and smash it home, he just whips it with his instep. So he gets the power, he gets the accuracy. He should never really have received the ball. Sabali should have done better. It's into the side netting, it's pretty much unsavable. Once Sancho's in this position as a defender, you've got a major problem. He's really clever, doesn't try and take his man on, just opens up a bit of space and curls it beautifully in at the far post. The ball shouldn't have got there, it did. And I think Sancho has pretty much killed the game off now.
And the substitutes combine to great effect. The Chelsea quality shines through, but Real Betis will be devastated at the way that has happened. Sergi Altimira and Giovanni Lo Celso on to desperately try to salvage something in the last 5 minutes. There will be a fair bit of stoppage time for the injury to Jackson and the various substitution windows that we've had in the second half. And for goal celebrations as well, they all get taken into consideration. But they need something soon. They need their big players to step up. Isco's done just that. Rodriguez claiming that he was fouled, claiming there was a handball in there too.
Well, of course, VAR have a good look at this. Clever little scoop from Isco. Couldn't really take it first time, Rodriguez. He had to control it. I think the fact he then controls it just gives Reece James the chance to get back in and make a challenge. Appealing for handball, there absolutely isn't one in there, but it was a chance to maybe get a goal back.
Isco. Anthony. Oh, we've seen him score from that position so many times.
I think Anthony's actually criticising Rubal for not making it a run across the near post, but it looked to me as if Anthony was shooting and not crossing, so I don't know why he's criticising Rubal for that.
Sancho.
It's been that classic game of two halves, hasn't it? And we did wonder about Betis, would they tire, would they sit deep, would the Chelsea attacking quality shine through, and it has.
Chalobah's caught by Rubal.
We have to go back to that first half as well, Jackie, with Jurgensen, the save that he made from Bartra. He dealt with a dangerous free kick as well, so the Chelsea goalkeeper certainly played a part in Chelsea possibly going on to pick this title up.
Well, Cole Palmer has more than played his part. Exceptional moments in the second half, which have made the difference in turning this game around. And young Marc Guiu will get his opportunity off the bench. The 19-year-old Spain under-19 international who scored a hat-trick against Shamrock Rovers earlier on in the campaign, an injury-hit campaign.
Yeah, the first half was the Isco show. Second half, it's Cole Palmer. Not saying it was single-handed, but without him, I don't feel Chelsea turned this around.
Enzo Fernandez, Chelsea breathing a sigh of relief now as they can feel how close the victory is. A victory so expected of them. No doubt that expectation can weigh heavily on those shoulders, even the few experienced players they have.
It's been a great response. If you look at it in the Premier League as well, there's criticism about their age, their maybe lack of maturity. They responded really well and qualified for the Champions League and asked big questions at half-time here. They've responded again really well.
Well, emotions spilling over now. Major disappointment for Anthony, who's had such an exceptional campaign on loan for Manchester United, particularly in the semi-finals. Instrumental in getting Real Betis to this stage. It has not been his night.
No, he'll be really disappointed with his lack of contribution. Whether that's had anything to do with what's happened here, I don't know. But it's not as if Cucurella has really dominated him. He just hasn't had a lot of the ball. When he's had it, nothing has really happened for him. It's a bit of silliness again from Anthony there, just lowering his head. It's not a headbutt by any means, but again, just reacts to Enzo Fernandez maybe giving him a bit of grief and just lowers his head. It's just all unnecessary. But again, it's the frustration, his frustration, Betis' frustration at the way this second half has gone.
Well, there are pockets of Real Betis supporters who are still banging those drums in defiance. Their side has not let them down tonight. It's just that Chelsea have the firepower, they have the quality in abundance, in depth, to turn this game around.
Yeah, it'll be no consolation. Of course, you lose a final, you're devastated. But you've got to remember they finished 15th in the league phase. So to get to the final, extraordinary achievement. Just Chelsea with their extra quality, attacking quality, have taken the game away from them in the second half. It's what we maybe expected would happen. But that's no big criticism of Real Betis. They've been absolutely outstanding in the competition.
It has been a phenomenal campaign for them. First ever UEFA final. Perrault whips in an early ball. Aitor Rubal was there, be dealt with eventually by Cucurella. Into the 5 minutes of added time, minimum thereof, as Cucurella does really well. He sets Sancho on his way.
As that cross came in from Perrault, it was a brilliant ball in. Rubal couldn't get to, but Anthony's just standing way out on the far post. He's going to make a run in at the far post and threaten Cucurella.
Especially at this stage of the game, as Enzo Fernandez finds Caicedo! And now the party can start! It's Chelsea's trophy! It's Maresca's trophy! They were the overwhelming favourites, and they got there in the end! A dominant campaign from start to finish.
The fourth goal is the icing on the cake. Just as Betis are getting tireder and tireder, they're just looking really stretched, a bit more laboured defensively, not getting blocks in. It's a little bit too easy for Caicedo to get that strike in. But I think it's just down to the amount of defensive work Betis have had to do, and they've just run out of steam. And Chelsea have just, in the second half, have just steamrolled them. Now, this is harsh on Betis. They didn't deserve to lose the game by a 3-goal margin. They were the better team in the first half, but of course, it's whether you can replicate that in the second half. Can you hold out? Can you contain? And they're just so dangerous, Chelsea. They've been relentless, but no one's really stepping out to face Caicedo. It's a bit too easy. That wouldn't have happened in the first half. So again, they've just got tireder and tireder, and Chelsea have really taken advantage. Maybe a bit of a touch on the strike, which takes it away from the goalkeeper. So they're just having no luck either. But the better team in the second half have just taken the game away from Betis.
The final punctuation mark on an outstanding season from Moises Caicedo, the only Chelsea player to start all 38 Premier League matches. No doubt about it in the end, but they did not have it all their own way.
I did always feel that the game would be decided on how well Betis defend. We knew they're good for a goal. They scored one, could have had 2 or 3, but we always worry about them. They had a clean sheet in 11 games going into this one, so there's always that worry, and you're up against a really good attacking machine if it clicks. And in the second half, it has clicked. It's been inspired by Cole Palmer, but we're starting to see with Sancho and Caicedo, that attacking game for Chelsea has really paid dividends in the second half, and Betis just weren't able to hold out.
Archer striding up from the back. He had a chance in the first half. Oh, we know he can strike a ball. And he didn't force Jurgensen into the save that time. There's still 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining almost. But the Chelsea substitutes have all stripped off their bibs. And they're ready to celebrate. They're already bouncing around in the technical area. And it's tears of sorrow for the Real Betis fans, who have been outstanding. And a good couple of hours before the match, they came to party. Their first time ever in a European final.
Yeah, the fans have been absolutely incredible throughout the campaign. The players have as well. So there's no shame in defeat here against a very good Chelsea side. But for Chelsea, they were fancied to win the competition before a ball was kicked. You're still going to go and do it, so they're under massive pressure every single game, and they've responded brilliantly. Only lost 1 game in 13 that they've played. That is just incredible.
Well, the strike goal was hit Trevor Chalobah in the face, and he's taken exception to it.
Yeah, he clearly felt, I think, and the whistle had gone, and then the ball is struck, and I don't know whether Perrault actually meant to strike it at the Chelsea player, but this is really hard to take for Betis fans, young and old, because they've done so well in the competition. They didn't deserve to get so heavily beaten. That first half, they were quite brilliant.
It'll be hard for the players to take to. They committed absolutely everything to this game. They were spot on in the first half. Tactically, it was just that second goal that was lacking. Jurgensen, the young goalkeeper, who was about to strike this ball, played his part too, denying Mark Bartra goal number 2, which may well have changed the narrative of this game. And Chelsea are the champions. The Conference League title is theirs, and it completes the full set of UEFA club trophies, which no other side has ever secured. Champions League, Europa League, Cup Winners' Cup and Super Cup. And now they must find space in the Stamford Bridge trophy cabinet for the UEFA Conference League trophy too. Isco was outstanding, but it simply wasn't enough. It wasn't Antony's night at all. It wasn't Chelsea's first half, but they turned it around in the second half and were worthy champions in the end. And their manager, Enzo Maresca, has secured silverware to go with the Champions League football in his very first season at the helm. The apprentice, having conquered the master, beating the man who taught him so much about the game. There's no shame in defeat for Real Betis. Chelsea simply have too much.
Absolutely, I think Betis made it a wonderful final. Their first half